Coming to the issue at hand, if you are following my discussion before Simon Ekpa was arrested, if you are following my discussion over the social media before Simon Ekpa was arrested, you understand that I've been raising this alarm over time about the activities of Simon Ekpa. And I have some people who are not well informed. They refuse to understand his activities and what actually he's set out to achieve. Because ab initio, he was not in any form of agitation. He was there committing all forms of criminality, blackmailing people. At some point, I took him to court in Abuja here. So as a matter of fact, the matter is still ongoing today. So, and people were being kind of informed to understand what he's doing. Because if you take into cognizance or probably consideration as to what transpired at a point in time, his preachings and how he's inciting people to commit all forms of atrocities, you will know that he's clearly out of the struggle. Because if I can ask you, this is historic question. Someone that says is agitating for the salvation, for the liberation of his people, how can you tell me that we've been encouraging killings of some people who are actually agitating for their liberation and encouraging violence against them, abduction, kidnapping, for ransom, and all sorts of things? So I've written so many things about that. Even I can recollect the last piece I wrote was about when I urged the Southeast governors to take a firm position about this situation. Anambra State Governor, I said, no, it's time for you to develop a mechanism towards addressing this ravaging insecurity in the state. Because we can no longer continue to further answer and allow it to stand. One day we'll not see someone who want to govern again. So, and I commend Soludo for inaugurating Agono Chamber Security Outfit, because they are doing marvelously well in Anambra State. I commend him. So, and also encourage other state governors to take a cue from him. But other governors, particularly the Anambra State Governor and the Enugu, they are doing extremely well in their own strategy. So they adopted towards fighting insecurity. They are doing extremely well. So I must also commend them. So we are aware. I'm not surprised that he will end up in the manner in which he ended up, because I know that it's a function of time. It's a function of time that the long arm of the law will catch up with him. And I thank God that he's today behind the bars and giving account of his stewardship. Of course, we know that some of this, we are not unaware of the fact that some of this money that making through these illicit activities then are being transported to him, and some is being sent to people to encourage them. So when I saw the publication by the federal government, I wasn't surprised at all, because they know it must be a product of painstaking investigation and stock taking on his activities and his allies. So I commend also the federal government for such a diligent job. And I believe that the Finland authority will possibly, because I understand from every indication they are still assembling facts and evidence for his possible prosecution. Prosecution has not started. So, and they must someday give account of stewardship before a law court over there. Because we lost so many people in the course of his activities. People were killed, people were abducted. In fact, if you're following up what's happening in social media, revelations which have started emerging of late, you'll be unsettled, as a matter of fact, by those mind-boggling revelations. So people are killed, kidnapped, buried. Some people even transacted on their human parts, from what I heard. So it's horrible and heinous. They completely desecrated our land, which you need by special grace of God for our land to be healed. But I thank God, of course, you can see that there is relative.
Brother and Barrister Ejiofor, only one statement to make in a page some days ago. Ebon on protected the right of his client, and the neighbor client Ejiofor, Akwa Ejiofor kuna government of Anambra State na abuse the right client here. Police charge the offense government of Anambra State Committee. So Ozubon for this video name back and you mana a Barrister Ejiofor na protect able say benefit. Ebe go say benefit on a benefit from Akwa Oko. Ebe ka Akwa Oko say benefit. Akwa Oko na benefit from Okite. Now Barrister Ejiofor Can go the law, the offense committee in this video. Only in this video of Fuma. If na by the stage of committee the offense and naira abuse. Can go the punishment under section 21 of the CBN Act 2007. All acts that constitute that naira abuse are punishable by imprisonment for a time of not less than 6 months. By the stage of the offense in Nigeria Anambra State Government Committee by detain your client. Now the offense committee in this video required that this supposed to reach 6 months imprisonment. You are a lawyer, you're supposed to know by that. One thing the one more for mabo, only on show you protect interest here. Since they work insecurity in the Southeast, what have by the stage of 4 contributed? And they couldn't allow for so much and I lazy okite allow for see our youth by the stage of 4 Biaba Kogonoga on a page. What has by the stage of 4 contributed in this fight against insecurity and on the Southeast? Only on a just now, they benefit no kite and they protect your kite. They benefit na can kidnapping and they protect the kidnapping. Only on a just they protect a bossy. Mandinary never joronjo and they protect every joronjo. Dinary bedom and they protect only on.
Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, depending on your time zone and depending for where you're watching us from. This is Biafra Watchman TV. We are live and we are direct. We are here to bring you the gospel of redemption. We are here to speak the bitter truth without fear or favor. And if today is the first time of coming across our video and you like the way we are propagating the gospel of Biafra, please subscribe, like, and share. Alright, I believe you all watched the Caro White guy, Ejiofor. I believe you all have watched the video and you listened to the in-depth analysis of what transpired in the video. You know, Ejiofor, sometimes I wonder how this guy is practicing law. How he's practicing law, because law is the application of common sense. That is law. The basic foundation of law is the application of common sense. Ejiofor in the video, I don't want to, I believe you all must have seen the interview he had, that he said Simon and the Biafra Liberation Army, they are responsible for insecurity, kidnapping, snatching of cars, etc. It's quite unfortunate that him that is a lawyer, who claims to be a lawyer or a jurist, saying this bullshit. It's quite unfortunate. This same thing is what they were saying about MNK when MNK was a free man. They will tell you that how MNK is buying Igbo youth, how MNK is the cause of insecurity in Southeast. And according to him, when MNK was a free man, he said he often moved from Abuja to Enugu, where they are having stakeholders meeting on how to restore insecurity. No, we all know what transpired until MNK was kidnapped from Kenya, renditioned to Nigeria, kept in solitary confinement for years now. Now, Nigeria and people who we are saying that MNK is responsible for the insecurity. Now MNK is in Nigerian court. They couldn't defend, they couldn't prove it. Because that's why it baffles me how this guy called Ejiofor is practicing his own law. It baffles me, because there are some certain things that as a lawyer you ought to know. If you stand Ejiofor, come and prove empirical evidence. They need empirical evidence that Simon is the one responsible for all these things. He cannot. Now Simon is out of the scene. What is going on? What is going on? You know, what is going on? Is Southeast? Are they enjoying security there? Are they enjoying it? Are they enjoying peaceful atmosphere in Southeast? But rather, look at insecurity everywhere. MNK is right there in Nigerian courts. People who we are saying that he's the one responsible for insecurity, they couldn't, even Nigeria government on their own. Now they are tired of the case. They are tired of the case. One thing is to say something, another thing is to defend it. Now, if Nigeria that was accusing MNK couldn't defend all the whole things they said about MNK, how much more Finland? We are aware, I got an intel that some politicians from Southeast, they are going to Finland will I say, evidence against Simon. It's not about tendering. You guys to come in Finland the day of the court for you to stand and say that thing you know with evidence. Evidence. If you say that Simon is kidnapping, you guys to say, you guys to provide evidence that he's a kidnapper. It's either you tender phone conversation where he's telling people who are kidnapping for him. You have to tender that one. You know, or you present someone that was kidnapped and the person said it was Simon or his boys or Biafra Liberation Army. Evidence, evidence-based, not just talk. You know, when it comes to issue of Biafra, liberation, Simon made it categorically clear that we are in a state of war. Even MNK says so. We are in a state of war. Even the Army Chief of Staff attests to that we are in a state of war. Army Chief of Staff said that the war they are fighting with Biafra Liberation Army or Biafra is a kinetic war or asthmatic war. That word alone shows that something is going on. And Simon on its own said that we are engaging, or Biafra Liberation Army is engaging Nigeria security or Nigerian state via guerrilla. So it has been established that there is war going on. There is war going on. So there is nothing like insecurity again, because Nigeria have attested that there is war. On the side of Biafra, Simon, who is heading, said there is war for different approaches. Nigeria is approaching their own through kinetic, asthmatic, whereas Biafra is engaging their own through guerrilla. And the question, Finland is not Nigeria. If Nigeria could not handle the case of MNK, could not prove beyond every reasonable doubt, despite how corrupt the judiciary system of Nigeria is, they couldn't, even the judge herself, Bintanyako, couldn't see or couldn't suppress her conscience to nail MNK. How much more Finland? How much more Finland? Because you got to tender every evidence. Nigerian government is spying Biafra Liberation Army. Biafra Liberation Army is spying Nigeria security agents. And these are the things you see or you witness when there is war. Look at what is going on between Ukraine and Russia. They are not both nations declared war and they are fighting it. The same thing with Biafra. Nigeria acknowledged there is war. Biafra acknowledged there is war. So there is war going on, but it's not conventional, unlike the one of Russia. During the 1967, Biafra engaged Nigeria via conventional war, but this time around, decided to adopt another approach, which is what? Guerrilla. And Nigeria adopted. The system they adopted in 1967 is not the same system they adopt now. They are approaching the whole issue with different approach. They are engaging Biafra via different approach, unlike that of 1967. So it has been established that there is war going on. So there's nothing like insecurity again causing insecurity. No, you cannot tell me that Russia is causing insecurity in Ukraine or Ukraine is causing insecurity in Russia. No, they are in a state of war. The fact has been established by both nations because Biafra is a nation. It existed before, and what made them to declare their nation happened and still happening. And because of this, they say we cannot continue. What led the 1967 war have started again, and it has even increased. So they got to do what? Pull themselves from Nigeria. So what I'm saying in a nutshell, Ejiofor that is saying that Simon is responsible for this one. If they call you and stand you before the court or the judge in Finland, can you defend what you said beyond every reasonable doubt with empirical evidence? It's not just he's doing this one. Can you defend it? Look at what this young man said in this video about Naira. You are abusing it. You have a relationship with Aqua. You know, you are a lawyer to Aqua. So Biafrans, you know, I have studied that case. The issue is this. Look at, for instance, look at Shu Ayaba. Now, Norway don't tire for the matter. Norway don't tire. Even Cameroon, La Republic, they are not asking Norway that they want a roundtable discussion because they've seen that, man, they don't have substantial evidence to nail Shu Ayaba. Now they are not seeking for negotiation. But before Shu Ayaba was what? Was arrested or invited for questioning. In La Republic, they were saying Shu Ayaba is responsible for this. Shu Ayaba is also responsible for that. They were carrying all kinds of news against this person. Now, he's now before the court. The matter is now before the court. Cameroon, La Republic, come and prove it. They couldn't. The same thing applicable to MNK in Nigeria. Despite the corrupt system of Nigeria, they couldn't nail or they couldn't jail MNK. Because self-determination is enshrined both in African Charter, Nigeria Constitution, even UN. And why fighting for freedom? Why fighting for self-determination? There's one it can go through diplomacy or can go through what? Armed struggle. Is enshrined in different constitutions and charters. You know, is enshrined there. Even Finland, they know what they went through when they were fighting for liberation from Russia or USSR, as the case may be. You want to tell me that then they were causing insecurity? But nevertheless, they might use the word they are causing insecurity. But at the end of the day, what happened? At the end of the day, what happened? So Finland is a nation that have the experience of war, that know what war of liberation entails. The reason why Nigeria is doing what they are doing is because, you know, they just dash black African nations independent. You know, after the Second World War, as America intervened in the Second World War, after that war, they had an agreement with all these European nations that had colonies in Africa. They said they entered a treaty. That was the same time they signed treaty with, what they entered into NATO, North Atlantic, wherever. They told them that all the whole colonies that are under their control, they have to give them independence. And if you check, between that 1960 down, they share independence like Akara. So Nigeria didn't actually fought for independence. So what they were doing, they are writing letter, doing this one. No, Zikiwe will write letter, will submit. If they do this one, he will run to Ghana or be running up and down. Never picked up arms to fight for their independence. That's why they are messing up. Even when they got the independence, if you listen to what the people they regard as founding fathers said, you will know that Nigeria, what is happening today, they themselves know that it's all bound to happen because they are not one people. You listen to what Ahmadu Bello said, listen to what Awolowo said, listen to what Azikiwe said, listen to what Tafawa Balewa said, you will know that these people, they know that Nigeria are not meant to be one. So what I'm saying in a nutshell is this: Ejiofor, you that is ranting, if they call you to come and defend all these things you said with evidence, can you defend it? You cannot defend it. So to people who are going to Finland, you know one thing about law is not about emotion. In law, there's nothing like emotion. You don't pass judgment in law based on emotion. Whatever verdict you will pass must be based on empirical evidences beyond every reasonable doubt. Beyond every reasonable doubt. Because whatever judgment you pass will be set as precedent. That is why Nigeria, despite their corrupt system, they are finding it difficult to convict MNK. Very difficult. Of which they cannot even do it. It's more or less like fighting. Once two people declare to fight, and everybody knows the approach he or she can adopt while fighting. There are some people who don't even have time to be throwing punch. They will just collect bottle. When they pick 2 by 2, so all the same thing applicable to what freedom fighting. Depends on the approach. And moreover, Nigeria as a country, no, when IPOB, we are calling for what? Referendum with flag and protest, they were buying them. They were buying them. Even at a point, people were like, you are not ready to fight for freedom. Do you think even the people who are accusing Simon today or accused MNK said, you are not ready for freedom, and you brought out Igbo youths or Biafran youths, they are buying them in the streets. How can you fight for freedom without arms? How can you fight for freedom without arms? And it happens to be in Nigeria, you know that when it comes to human rights, they are number one in abuse of human rights. How can you get your freedom from Nigeria without picking up arms? They were accusing them. IPOB will come out to pray. They will buy them. As they will buy them finish, they will carry their bodies. You know how many mass burial they conducted in Onitsha Paras? Most of the barracks in Eastern or Biafra land, you know how many number of IPOB members they buried there, shallow graves. They were doing all those things. You don't know that there will be a time the people you are buying will form resistance. You can't continue to be buying them and you expect them to be doing what? To fold their hands. Nigeria, you are signatory to African Charter, which self-determination is enshrined there. You are signatory to what's it called? UN, which freedom of destiny is enshrined there. Self-determination is enshrined. Now they said, Biafran said, we are no longer interested in this union. Conduct referendum for us. Let's go our separate ways. If you fail the referendum, we'll continue with Nigeria. Is there anything difficult in that? Just to conduct referendum for them. Rather, if they come out, if you see anybody putting on bangle that have a IPOB in issue or Biafra this thing, buy them. You guys derive joy in buying them, unarmed and unprovoked. Are we talking about the one that happened in Ngwa High School where they are conducting prayers? According to Amnesty International, he said they buy to the tune of 150, of which you know it will be more than that. Look at what happened in the Mazen and the Kano house. All these things were unprovoked. Buying them, believing that nothing will happen. Now they form resistance and picked up arms to defend themselves and to fight for their liberation. He said they are causing insecurity. So now, what is the things going on now? Who is causing the insecurity there? Now Simon is no longer there. Who is causing the insecurity? The thing that is there is this: Nigeria should go to Finland or Ejiofor. Ejiofor regards to go to Finland to defend this allegation. It's not about sitting down because Simon exposed you beyond, and all the exposition Simon made, majority of all the exposition is based on what you what you said during the interview you had with different will I say stations or YouTube bloggers. We saw the one you had with Maze Zoke. It's there from your own words. Simon exposed you. Simon exposed you that you are an I in IPOB. That the confusion, the problem, everything that caused the disunity in IPOB, you caused it. At the end of the day, MNK said to your tent, say, you don't need their services again. MNK said he doesn't need their services again. What you could do is to be, sabotaging Ejimako. Sabotaging Ejimako. Now, when you were handling the case of MNK, during every court proceedings, people don't have privilege to enter the court. We never knew. We thought it was DSS. We never knew you are the one, you are the brain behind it. Look at now, Ejimako is the one in charge. People enters into the court. People express themselves, but look at you when you were in charge of that case. MNK can't even talk in the court. Can't even express himself. MNK couldn't express himself, but consider it now that Aloy Ejimako is in charge. Look at MNK dismantling Nigeria. This is not the lawyers now. The thing that even made Bintanyako said, but thank God that this case is removed from her court. That since he has been practicing this thing, practicing law, and since he has been a jurist, serving on bench, she has never seen an intelligent, somebody that knows law even more than the lawyers in Nigeria, more than lawyers who are practicing law in Nigeria, that MNK know Nigerian law into two. If you see the way MNK is defending himself, you will know that this one, he knows Nigerian law forth and back. He is the one even telling the prosecutor Nigerian law. Even him, even she, Bintanyako, MNK, lecturing them about Nigerian law. But when you are the one in charge of MNK case, we are not seeing such thing. We are not seeing such thing. Ejiofor, imagine you. When Simon was around, did you talk in a kunwoku? When Simon was a free man, did you talk in a kunwoku? In Apatan Wakoff, Because somebody who video, he will use that video you made to dissect you, to expose you. All the videos you made in the name of you want to expose Simon, at the end of the day, Simon used those videos to expose you and to open the eyes of Biafrans and open the eyes of the world. The role you played in what is happening to MNK. Sitting down talking. Are white. Anyways, talk is cheap. To allege, to do, how will I put it now, is very easy. But one thing is to defend it. Go to Finland and defend it. Defend all these things you said. That Simon is the one responsible. The other day, the Finland president tweeted on the buying going on in Nigeria. At least he has seen that Simon, they are accusing, people like you are accusing that he's the one responsible for the insecurity. Now Simon is out of the scene. Why they buying? Why they buying? The man made a tweet based on the buying going on in Southeast, in Nigeria in general, even in Southeast. That is to tell him, do you think they don't know Nigeria? They know Nigeria. They know it's because of France. France pressured Finland to call Simon, to hold Simon. Look at France saying we're on open Burkina Faso. See how the way they chased them out. Look at the way they chased them out. The jail, same thing. Anyways, let me not digress much. Biafrans, to me, if you study so if you study Simon Enwero case, because most of all these things they said is doing online. Check all the whole tweet. He always counter. It's either he posts one or two things that Nigerian state did, and he will not. He has said it that he has said categorically clear that the reason why they don't want checkpoint in Biafra land, that if they catch any police or any security agent in checkpoint, they will engage them, is because most of this kidnapping that is happening, always take place very close to military checkpoint or police checkpoint. And these guys are there looting our people. They are always there looting motorists. And this thing is not happening even in Boronu, that we know that we have serious security threats there. There's nothing like checkpoint. Check all the whole northern state, no checkpoint. The same thing with Yoruba land. Why in Southeast and in Biafra land? Not only that they are collecting money by force from people. Any kidnapping that will take place always take place close to checkpoints. And he said in regards to this, if they catch any military at the checkpoint, they will engage the person. As they are engaging Nigerian security agents, they are engaging them. These two nations have declared they are in a state of war. So to me, I see no case there. Look at Shua Yaba, like I said before. That the public now is calling for negotiation on round table. They thought by arresting Shua Yaba they can imprison him there. No. You have to prove your case beyond every reasonable doubt. So Nigeria has to imagine, can you compare the way La Republique abuse human rights or buy people like the way Nigeria is doing or usually do? Nigeria, I don't think in any country in the world, there is no country in this planet Earth and Nigeria that the government buy their citizens like Nigeria. Nigeria is master. If people, imagine people whom their citizens we are singing their national anthem with their flag, they still buy them. Tell me, is there any country that have tried this? Their citizens are singing their own national anthem with their flag by them. This is the height of it now. This is the height of it. People, their citizens came out to protest hunger, hunger, that they are hungry. They still buy them. This is the country that is going to this thing, to say somebody is causing this thing, somebody is inciting people. Whereas their actions and inaction is even inciting people. The actions and inactions of Nigeria is even inciting people. It's inciting people because every day you will read they borrow money, the money they are borrowing. You cannot see the effect of it in the economy and the lives of people. And they are borrowing money. Is that not incitement? This incitement, they are inciting people. You will see the political class, you will be reading the amount of money they are looting. Politicians, you will be reading the amount of money they are looting. Is this not incitement? Inciting hungry people, inciting people. Tell me incitement that is more than this. Are you talking about the ones in National Assembly, how they are just sharing themselves money? Every day they will make budget of SUV, make budget of spoon. Every year they will make budget of spoon. Is this not incitement? You are inciting people to think otherwise and to commit. The main people inciting people in Nigeria is even the Nigerian government. Nigerian politicians, their way of life is very, very, very insightful. Because they are not even doing it in secret, they are doing it in open. They are doing it in open. Believing that you will not even do anything. Believing that the citizen will not even cough. If you talk, they will use their puppet, their security agent, to silence you. It's either they buy you or they lock you up. This is what they specialize in doing. You cannot even voice out. You cannot even talk. If you talk, instead of them to address your frustration, address what you said, they will look for a means to silence you. You are saying Simon is inciting people, whereas your actions and inaction is even inciting people more. You would borrow money, map out a project to execute in Nigeria, and you exclude Southeast. Is this not incitement? Is this not incitement? You will do this one, you will exclude people. So that Buhari did it. This Tinubu is doing it also. Is it not incitement? Is it because of the class of people who call politicians are leaders are idiots? Even these guys are supposed to cover their faces with shame. That is why once they go to Abuja, they can't talk. But once they come down to Southeast, they may pronounce they are not yet ready. They are not yet ready or matured to be the president of Nigeria. This is what they said. Then when are you going to be? Who are the one, servicing this one Nigeria? That's the question. Who are the people servicing one Nigeria? Dangote is the richest man in Africa. He has no single factory. He has no even the cement. We know that the highest people who patronize him more on the cement is Igbos. But could you believe that this man didn't went one single warehouse? Southeast. We're not talking about investment. Igbos are the ones servicing this Nigeria. Yet Igbos, the ones that call themselves political class, say they are not yet matured to rule Nigeria. What they specialize in doing is calling, I beg, give us a security to have their people. They don't specialize in doing. Like this animal Ejiofor. anụmanụ Ejiofor na-ekwugheri kpọgịnwa gịwa Ejiofor nwanne ya kedu afa nke anụnwa bitrere Biafra ya emecha wụrụ this year name Ejiofor ya emecha bụrụ a taboo name na people will not even like to hear that name Ejiofor. Nta ndị mmadụ esi ozi aza Ọkpabịa like asị ka Ọkpabịa nobody nwe family na-azazi Ọkpabịa Ifeajuna nobody bears that name Ifeajuna anymore. The same thing will happen to this name Ejiofor. Anaga, I greet you all genuine Biafrans. If you come across the video, please like, subscribe and share. Share the video, share, very important. And like, I greet you all, peace and love.
Aguna Chamber security outfit because
Aguna Chamber.
they are doing marvelously well in Anambra State.
Okay, Aguna Chamber is doing marvelously well. Aguna Chamber that hitting our people, hitting indigenous people, fighting them, burning houses, killing people, is the one doing well. Oh. They are doing well. And the regime of, Ngozi says the USB, they are doing fine.
So encourage other state governors to take a cue from him. But other governors, another state governor and the Enugu, they are doing extremely well in their own strategy.
They lies. Continue.
It was fighting insecurity. They are doing extremely well, so I must also commend them. So we are aware. I'm not surprised that he will be.
This man is commending them what is happening, but he told you now. He's protecting, is the lawyer of Nnamdi Kanu. He didn't say X, he didn't say before. What Nnamdi Kanu is fighting for, is it not to destroy those zoo, to have independence, for them to stop killing in Biafra land? This is not why Nnamdi Kanu is there. It's for them to give us freedom. It's why Nnamdi Kanu is there. But this man is telling you now that he's happy what they are doing, protecting people in their ground. Means that you don't even know. Look at you, they're even confused. He's even talking trash like Ngozi. The same thing, the same template. Keep it up.
We end up in the manner in which he ended up, because I know that it's a function of time. A function of time that the long arm of the law will catch up with him. And I thank God that he's today behind the bars.
Okay.
Giving account of his stewardship. Of course.
The same man, this idiot, from when the Nigeria get Nnamdi Kanu from Kenya, when they bring him to Nigeria, the same idiot, Nnamdi Kanu send message to him, go and tell DOS, Chinasa Woshi and all those ones, that they should give PM Samuel Akpa the Radio Biafra to continue where he stopped, that he know where he stopped, to continue there. This idiot say no. That Nnamdi Kanu is like the thing they hit in the brain is touching his brain. You understand? That is exactly what this man did, this idiot. When he came out, Nnamdi Kanu himself knows that they have never given PM anything. And Nnamdi Kanu, everything, that court you see this man is going, Nnamdi Kanu is not talking to him. It's only that message Nnamdi Kanu sent to him. And Nnamdi Kanu knows when PM will start agitating. When PM will start taking Radio Biafra. And Nnamdi Kanu know that PM have never taken Radio Biafra at that time. And Nnamdi Kanu know that they have never obeyed. And Nnamdi Kanu write a memo again, the way PM did to this useless woman now. Fall back. Write a memo again. Fall back. Do this. Stop using my name. Exactly. But the difference is that our Nnamdi Kanu lawyer is delivering his message straight.